Hi everybody, it's Joy and a little bit of technical issues, but I am on now. It was only a couple of minutes, and so I hope everybody will be able to find me. So let's give it just a little bit of time. So we are going to be using the Frosted Forest bundle, which comes with the Frosted Forest decorative masks and the Frosted Forest dies. So, um, yes, this is a wonderful bundle. It is an online exclusive, which means that you can only find it online in the catalog and not, um, you know, you can find it online in the web on the stampinup.com website or my stampwithjoy.stampinup.net and then shop now. That will get you to my store on the website, but it is not in the catalog. Not in the catalog. It is an online exclusive. It is shown on the Stampin' Up! Website, and there is a category where you can look for just online exclusives, and then this should come up. It is the Frosted Forest. I love the set. I'm really enamored with it right now. So anyway, we will just carry on. If you join me, just say hello in the comments, and we will just get started here. So I made this sample, and I did this in a couple of my classes, and this is using kind of maybe like an oak tree, I guess. Um, and then they also have the pine tree. So today we're going to change it up just a little bit and make a version of this same layout, the same card sketch with the pine tree. So if you join me live or if you join me on replay, please go ahead and make comments. I love your comments. I go ahead and I like them and I answer them. You know, I comment on them. So please go ahead and do that. Now, last month was bonus days where you earned a $5 coupon code for every $50 spent. But that time is over. Now it's ready to redeem them. So if you earned any $5 coupon codes, it was sent to you via an email when you ordered, then you get to redeem them in August and you can add them up. So if you earned 2 or 3 of them throughout the month or more, then you can put all of those coupon codes in the coupon section and you will get that amount off. So 3 $5 coupons is $15 off, etc. So you can go ahead and you can do that. Um, and you will get a discount now because you ordered the qualifying amount in July. Let's see. We need Pretty Peacock. This is monochromatic, so we're primarily using just Pretty Peacock for this. And let's see, let's get my stamp. Like I said, I'm going to switch to the pine tree. So I'm going to use this one. And I need my early espresso. Yes, this is an old style pad. It's very old. It's very old now. It's been several years since they've had this style, but it still works. We can still get ink refills for it. And so if you have old pads that are current colors, just order a refill if your pad is in good shape. So we've got this and this. Let me just put that over there. And let's pull out some pieces. So for our card base, we need a basic white thick. I like to use the thick for my card base and then the regular basic white for my layers and for stamping on. But for a card base, you really need a little bit extra thickness. Hi, Rose. Thanks for joining me. And It is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. So that's half of an 8.5 by 11. And then of course we score it at half of 8.5, which is 4.25. So that's our card base. And like I said, we're going to use this sketch, but we're going to change it up just a little bit. And the masks, some of you have the masks, you haven't practiced with them a lot, some of you have never gotten the masks. So this is just going to kind of show you how great these are in layering color. We also need a piece of Pretty Peacock, and that piece is 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. So that's a Pretty Peacock layer. Then we need 2 of the regular basic whites. It's not nearly as thick as this. You can tell by, just kind of feeling it, how thick it is. You need 2 of these pieces, and they are 3.25 by 4.5. Try not to get that off camera too much. You need 2 of those. And then for the sentiment, you need a Pretty Peacock piece. If you're going to use, I'm changing up, not doing this one, I'm changing up with a smaller sentiment. I'm using the Birthday Wishes for a Day as Great as You Are, and that one is a little smaller than the one on this. So the piece we need for our layering piece of the Pretty Peacock is 1 3/4 inches by 2.25 inches. And we also need another piece of basic white, and that is 1.5 inches by 2 inches. So a 1/4 inch less for the first layer, a 1/4 inch larger for the second layer. So they will be a little bit smaller than on this one because we are changing this card up just a bit. So let's bring in our basic white, one of our basic white pieces, and I'm going to move some things out of the way. We'll put that kind of up here. I'm going to move some things out of the way. We are going to oh, you also need some ribbon. Sorry, I should say that. The ribbon is in the annual catalog on the page with all the ribbons, which is page 113. And the Pretty Peacock ribbon is right here, number 12. So it's Pretty Peacock and gold metallic ribbon. So that is the ribbon we're using. So the ribbon is the what is out of the annual catalog, but the bundle, the Frosted Forest bundle, is in the online exclusives. So let's see. Let's get a piece of washi tape, just a low tack tape, any low tack tape. I'm going to get a piece, and we're going to de-stickify it a little bit because it's a little too sticky. It will rip your paper if you're not super careful. So I'm going to de-stickify it a little bit and put that on the back. And this is just a piece of grid paper that I've been using, but we're going to use it for this. Now you get masks. You have a set of masks, and you have 2 sets. You have the set for the kind of tall oak tree, and those, if you rub your finger over this corner by the notch, it says 1, 2, and 3. Those are the ones for that one. But if you want for the pine tree, those are A, B, and C by the notch. So we need our A. Oh, first we have to stamp it. I have to stamp it first. In the early espresso. Hi, Bridget. How are you? You're recovering from knee surgery, I believe. This is going to get stamped right about here on this piece. And as you see, it needs kind of some filling in. So that's what we're going to do with our pretty peacock ink pad. And this is the new style pad. Now, the new style pads do open up like a compact. So they open up like this, and then you just slide them over. And we're going to line up our A mask. And we're going to line that up so that the outline that we have stamped there is inside our open area. Now, I'm going to tape that down. To my grid paper. Okay, so we're going to get some ink with a blending brush. I'm using one of the large blending brushes. So we're just getting some ink on here, and we're getting the dark off, and we're going to do a light amount of ink on this. We don't want too much on this layer, because you can always add ink, but you can't take it away. So we're doing a light layer of the pretty peacock, and then we are going to switch masks. So take our washi tape, and we're going to save that. We're going to use that for each of our masks. But we have this piece is taped down, so it is not shifting. And we always know on this one that the notch is going to be down here. This is not the right one. That's the C. This is the B. You can't really see that, but I think I really need to take a label maker and write another label over it. Okay, so this one, you can see where the ink was before. We're going to shift it so that we can't see the ink that we just did, because this mask is going to go right on top of that. So this is going to be a little bit lower than what we did before. And I don't think I probably need to ink that again. Get any more ink on it. I think it's probably got enough, but we will find out. If I do, my ink pad is right there. Okay, let's make sure that's stuck down good. Try not to get my fingers in the ink. I don't know about you, my fingers just get everywhere. And I think I want that just a little bit darker. So I'm going to come over here, ink pad, get the really dark off, and I'm going to come in, and I'm going to add a little bit more ink. We want that a little darker, because we want this layer of stencil, this layer of ink, to be a little darker than what we did originally. And you could change, you don't have to use the same color. I chose to do a monochromatic card. You can always change colors on this and use different tones of ink colors. And make sure I've got that down really well. Just a little bit more, I think. And you can always peek, take a little peek, like just lift up a little corner and take just a little peek if you wish. Yeah, That's coming out like we want it. So let's save our washi tape. And now we need mask C. This one is kind of interesting. Where do we want this one? Because this one does kind of overlap what we've just done a little bit. It doesn't overlap the first layer 100%, but it does overlap it a little. So it's like we have to decide. We want to cover up what we just did for the B layer. So just kind of judge it the best you can. And this one, we want to do just a little bit darker than the previous two layers. So again, remembering that we can always add ink, but we can't take it away. So this will be adding on top of that first layer of ink that we did. And depending how much ink you add, the darker this layer will be. So you're going to have to decide how dark you want that. So just keep blending. And let's take a little peek and see. Yep. So now you can see the different layers of ink that we did on that tree with our mask. Let's see if I can hold it up to the camera a little bit more. So you can see that we have different tones of the pretty peacock on there. Alright, set that aside. And we also, on this same piece, we have the little bird, and we're going to stamp the little bird in Pretty Peacock. And we want 3 of those little birds. So we want 1. Oh, I have a little ink on my finger there. 2. And 3. Then, now, to make your ink pad a palette, you can close it up, give it a little squeeze, and then you will have ink in your lid. And I'm using a blender pen because I can control it a little better that way. And I'm just grabbing just a little. You don't want very much. You want just a light amount, and then coloring the birds very quickly, trying not to go outside the lines. I like the blender pen because it has a brush marker tip, and I find that easier to control than a brush. So just your personal preference. We have all kinds of tools based on what your personal preference is. So we're just giving each of those birds just a little bit of color. Just a quick little watercolor look. So, and then make sure your blender pen runs clear, and you can use it for another color. So we're going to close that for now, and then this gets die cut. So instead of waiting for me to die cut all those images, I have gone ahead and done that. So via the magic of video, we have them already die cut out. One really great thing I was really happy about was in the set of dies, if you look closely, there's two of these bird dies. So I can cut two birds out at the same time. And then this one here cuts out the tree. That one is just a detail die that you can use. They have they have detail dies, outline dies. This is just a really great set. So those are already ready to go. Move those. I'm going to put these over here. Those over here so I don't lose those. Maybe put this one over here. All right. Now our other piece of basic white that was I believe it was 3 1/4. Yeah, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So we had two pieces that size. One we stamped and did our tree and our birds, and the other one we were just going to blend a background. So I guess I need this piece back. We're just blending a little color on the background. I should have plenty of color here. So we're just going to lightly blend some color. Again, start out light, and then you can add as you wish. So we're just kind of blending a little back here for kind of like a sky. We're not even going to the edges, just sort of close to the edge, but not completely around the edge. And there we have that piece. And so then these two pieces go together. So we're going to attach these two pieces using some Stampin' Seal. Thanks for joining us from Cairo today, Teresa. You always go to such interesting places. And I'm sure we are complaining about the heat here, but I'm sure where you are is even hotter temperature-wise. We have that piece, and we have our card base. Let's see. Oh yes, we need some dimensionals. Need some dimensionals. So let's grab some here. I'm going to use all of this, including the edge pieces. And some edge pieces, which are like kind of like half dimensionals. I'm going to use some of those too. We don't want any saggy parts. Oh, then we have the birds. Now the birds, I could cut these down, but I think I'm going to use the mini dimensionals, and I'm going to cut a couple of these down. be enough for 2 birds right there. So we're just putting those on the birds. And I need another half one. Save this one. There we have those. Those will go on last. This one can go on now. Have my take your pick tool. See if I can get that paper off there. Okay, that one's ready. Now, I like to make sure my elements are grounded, so I am going to put this down here so that it gives a little bit of a base for my tree. And let's see, I'm just going to, I could put dimensional between this layer, but I'm not going to do that this time. Oh, got some glitter from another project. Now, this one needs to kind of go over, be kind of centered top and bottom here. But kind of go over a little further to give us room for our sentiment piece. I'm just eyeballing. Hopefully I got that straight. And we need our pieces for our sentiment. Let's put these back over here in our little tray. Get our greeting. Bring our pretty peacock ink back in. Stamp this birthday sentiment. And we want to go up to the top here. We want to leave room for our ribbon. And let's see, oh, I put that away too fast because I'm going to need to stamp some birds in the inside. So while I've got my ink here, let's bring our bird stamp back and let's stamp a couple of birds on the inside to bring a little bit of the outside in. So just stamp as many birds as you want. And then I will put a personalized birthday message on the rest of the inside. Now let's attach these two together. Got a little nudge. Okay. There we go. Alright. Now we can attach these two layers together, leaving an even border around. And then our ribbon, our pretty peacock and gold metallic ribbon. Now I have more than I need here so that I can tie it, but I'm just going to tie a knot in it. I'm not going to do a bow, I'm not going to do a faux bow, I'm just going to tie a knot. Just like so. So just a knot, not real tight. And I'm going to bring in some glue dots. Yes, there's the glue dots. One on each side. Hopefully I don't have to trim too much. I might have to trim a little bit. Okay. So I like things offset a little bit rather than completely centered. So I'm going to put my knot about here. Okay, we're going to try this again. Take two. Wrap this one back and press it. And then wrap this one around and press it. There we go. And we want to put that on dimensionals. So we're going to use up the rest of this pack. Whoop, that one got crooked, but that's okay. See if I can straighten it. Yeah, I can. And one in the middle. Yeah, that's good. All right. This, make sure they're on good. It's going to go on our card next. Oh, that didn't stay. Sometimes you have to be careful when you're using the take your pick tool to get the papers off. They'll peel your dimensional right off if you didn't have it stuck on really good. So this is going to go right about here, making sure to mirror the distance there with the distance on this side here. So we're just mirroring that. Oh, there. We're just mirroring that. Now it's time for the birds. Let's get a pair of tweezers out here and see if we can put some of these birds on. Maybe one that looks like it's coming off of the tree. Another one. Whoop. Come on. There we go. Another one kind of up here. And maybe peel that. Nope, that was taking the whole thing off. See if I can get just the paper off. There we go. This one, I'm gonna go right here. You know what? I think I want to move this one. So I'm gonna try to gently get that off of there. Yep, it came off. It wasn't pressed down too hard. I think I want to move that one. And maybe move this one. Yep, change my mind. Okay, there, I think I like that better. Kind of creates more of a triangle like I like it. And so there we have that. And we have stamped the inside. You could absolutely stamp on your envelope as well. So tell me in the comments which one you like best. Do you like the oak tree? I'm just going to call it an oak tree. The oak tree or the pine tree. Excuse me. Which one do you like better? And maybe why? And then, you know, as always, Joy has a very messy desk. So if you see anything on here, you know, any little item that might be just hanging out in my area that doesn't belong, go ahead and make a note of that in the comments. It's just a fun little game where one of these things is not like the other, one of these things doesn't belong, and so what was on Joy's desk that didn't belong today? So thank you so much for watching, and until next week, I probably won't have a Friday live. In fact, I definitely won't have a live. I don't know if I'll get around to recording a video and putting the link. But I'm going to be visiting the granddaughters next week. All week we have grandparent duty. The parents are not taking off work, so the grandparents are going to be taking care of the kiddos this week. So going to see my granddaughters. I'm very excited about that. And so next week, next Friday, that's where I will be. I will be visiting them. But I will be back with a Friday Live the following week in 2 weeks. So um, until then, we will talk to you later and hope you enjoy stamping and are staying cool. Bye.